The Chicago Bears have a number of things that they need to look to improve coming out of the bye week. On today's episode, I want to look at a list of things that I would love to see the Bears find some movement on between now and when they take the field week 6 against the Washington Commanders. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, it's Friday. That means we're going to dive into the mailbag. All that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Derek Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. So I want to start off about the things that I want to see the Bears improve on coming out of the bye week, and the number one thing is the run defense. Listen, I know that we have our struggles, and I'm going to talk about some of the other areas of struggles for the Chicago Bears, but the run defense that the Bears have is bad. We have the worst run defense in the NFL. We've allowed 658 yards rushing throughout the first 4 games of the season. We're averaging on average, we're averaging per game 164.5, basically 165 rushing yards per game. And that's just not going to cut it for the Chicago Bears. It's just not. If you really want to be a team that is going to and the defenses look solid. And I guess that's something that, much like we talk about with the offense eventually, but the defenses looked really solid even despite giving up the rush yards that they have. Now imagine if the Bears can eliminate the rushing attack, right? Their deficit that they're giving off rushing. I'm not expecting the Bears to all of a sudden go from worst to first, but I do think if the Bears can even get somewhere to be middle of the pack as far as a rushing defense, protecting or defending against the run, that you're talking about, a huge leap for the Chicago Bears. Let's hope that that's going to be the case for the Bears this year. And so they're facing off against the Washington Commanders, which is the second best rushing attack in all of football in week 6. So the Bears are getting tested about it right away early into this after the bye week. And so let's hope that the Bears can get that part together. Now, with that said, we also got to talk about the run game on the offensive side of the ball. The Bears it's been bad right now. And, it is what it is. Could Kyle Monangai be more prioritized in the rushing game? Absolutely. I think, overall we don't rush the ball a lot. We have turned into basically a pass-heavy team, but is that because of the lack of trust in the running back room? Like, we have one person averaging over 4 yards per carry for the Chicago Bears, and guess what? That's Caleb Williams. That's it. So that's not going to cut it at all. So you look at it, DeAndre Swift, 3.3 yards per carry. Kyle Monangai, 3.6 yards per carry. Like, even, using DJ Moore, 2.5 yards per carry. I actually have to amend that. We do have other players that are averaging more than 4 yards per carry. Olamide Zaccheaus is averaging 10.5, and Luther Burden is averaging 7. But neither one of those guys are backs. Like, they're wide receivers. So, that's a problem for the Chicago Bears. And so we got to find a better balance right now in the rushing game. We only have 409 yards, rushing per game. We're averaging 102 yards per game there. We got to get better at that. We only have 3 rushing touchdowns on the season as well. 2 from Swift, 1 from Caleb Williams. We have to find a better rushing attack, and that has to be something that we have to attack during the bye week. Absolutely. Outside of that, I think that we also have to look at, we got to be better at using our tight ends. 12-man coverage, or 12-man personnel was something we talked a lot about in the offseason, and we just haven't seen it, right? We've seen a little bit of it for sure, but we haven't targeted our tight ends very heavily at all. Cole Kmet has struggled. Colston Loveland hasn't been healthy, so you do have that. They've combined for 10 total catches through the first 4 games, and I tell you what, I didn't expect that at all. I'm not even going to lie to you. I did not expect that at this point, going into week 5, even though we have the bye week, first be talking about 10 catches between Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. So that's something that we have to tighten up at, I think, for sure. We have 10 catches on 22 targets between the two of those guys. We need better production. We need to better include them in the offense. And I think that's going to be something that not only helps Caleb Williams with some of the short yardage things that he needs to do as well, but they need to be better. Cole Kmet has to stop being taken down by 5'10" cornerbacks. Like, don't get me wrong, and that's not to knock a 5'10" cornerback. Some of those are the toughest motherfuckers on the field, right? But you're the white rhino. That's who Cole Kmet is. And the fact that we've seen Cole Kmet taken down as easily as he has been struck a motherfucker. There is no excuse for how easily Cole Kmet has gone down. There's no excuse for the drops that he's had. There's no excuse for these things. We got to get it there. We have to get it better, and we have to be better when it comes down to it. When you look at it, 22 targets between the two of those, that's the same amount of targets that Olamide Zaccheaus has had by himself alone. We have to get these guys included more in it, but they also have to perform better. So I'm not putting it all on just the lack of targets. Some of it is down to their performance as well, and they got to be better in those areas. And if they can't be better, if they refuse to be better, I don't know. But we know that both these guys are more talented than what we've seen, right? Colston Loveland is one of the best route runners we have on this team. He has the chance to bring some things from the tight end position that we haven't seen, and he could be a really good pairing with Cole Kmet. We just got to be more intentional how we're going to use them. And to the credit, Ben Johnson has held himself accountable a lot in that as well. I do expect to see the Bears make some serious changes here with the offense between now and coming back out of the bye week. But, that's one of the things that I definitely want to see us get better in. And I think, for what it's worth, I definitely think that we can get better in it too. I don't think it's one of those things that we just can't improve on. We could definitely improve on that, and I do think we will. And then we got to figure out what's going on with our tackles. We just have to figure out what's going on with our tackles right now. I tell you what, even if you do want to say that Darnell Wright stays as a starter and move to the left side, that's fine. But Braxton Jones ain't it. And Braxton has improved in some areas, and he's looked solid in some areas. I want to be clear as well. But after being benched, and they were already thinking about benching him going into the Cowboys game. He then turned around and did get benched during week 4, right? And, Theo Benedict has looked solid in some areas. He's also had some shortcomings. Everything hasn't been perfect for Theo Benedict at all, right? And I want to be clear on that. But he's shown an ability to play the right or the left side when filling in. And I think that, when Benedict's in there, we've seen some really good drives with Benedict. Aji Trapillo got his first, series snaps against the Raiders. And, what the way that he performed against Max Crosby, allowing no pressures, no sacks, nothing like that in his time there, it's something that you got to look at. And I think that, while Ozzie didn't necessarily look transcendent or anything during preseason, which is why Braxton Jones ended up winning the position, it could just be that Aji Trapillo is just better as a right tackle. And if that's the case, fine. Like, there's no harm, no foul in that. If that ends up being the case, that he is just better at right tackle, so be it. Allow him to be better at right tackle. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, right? You picked him with the second round, so that means that there has to be some trust there in what he's going to be able to bring at the NFL level. Trust him to go out there and do that. Allow him to do that, and let's see how we come out on the other side of that, right? That's what I want to see. And hopefully, that the Bears find better balance here. And everything hasn't been bad, right? But, I think that we need to find better production from our tackles. And then the last thing, and maybe the most important thing, is getting healthy. We don't know what's going on with Jalen Johnson. There's a chance that he's going to miss the entirety of the year. But Jalen, Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, these guys have played a total combined of a half of football, right? And that's coming from Jalen and TJ Edwards. Haven't seen Kyler Gordon at all. And I think getting Kyler and TJ back is hugely important for this team. Kyler Gordon's supposed to be Dennis Allen's Swiss Army knife, a player that he uses all across the field. And I truly believe he is going to be that for the Chicago Bears, right? TJ Edwards, so important in the toughness and run defense for this team, right? And so when you look at these guys missing basically the entirety of the year up until this point, those are huge things that can also help this team. You talk about getting better in the run defense. Kyler Gordon can help with that. TJ Edwards can help with that. So I think having those guys be better in those areas is definitely going to work out, right? But then you got injuries in other places as well. Like, the injuries had started to pile up for the Bears. Darnell Wright's out. Get him back healthy. Austin Booker, another guy that could be, positive in both the pass rush and the run defensive part of the game, right? All those things are there. And so as the Bears get back healthy, and hopefully we get some of these guys, if we can get Kyler Gordon, TJ, and Austin Booker back, after the bye week, they're going to deal with some rust. I want to be clear there, and they're going to have to get back up to speed. But as they do that, like, that's where you can start seeing some serious improvement in some of these areas for the Chicago Bears for sure as well. So, hope those guys bring it in. You can get those guys back healthy sooner rather than later, and we shall see. But let me know what you guys think on that down below. From talking about where I want the Bears to get better at, let's talk about where the Bears have improved from last season, and something that I think you got to look at the growth of Caleb Williams at. In 2024, the Chicago Bears ranked 31st in third down percentage. That's it. Through the first 4 games of 2025, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense ranked 4th. We're converting at 45.5% on third downs right now. And not only that, when you look at it, the Bears are also ranked 2nd in terms of most yards to go on third down at over 8.5. So the fact of the matter is that the Bears' growth on third down has been something that's clearly been there. Right now, you don't want to continue to be in a spot where you need at least 8 yards or over 8 yards on third downs, but the fact that the Bears are converting that and at a really good rate, I think is a sign of things going in the right direction, right? You get a better run game, and you turn some of those third and longs into third and shorts, I think, right, for the Chicago Bears. So the Bears are also averaging 25.3 points per game, which is 12th in the NFL. And so, the Bears are doing it. When you look at it, the 12th ranked offense in the NFL is the Chicago Bears. They need 8.5 out of 10 to go on every third down snap they've taken so far. You improve that, which I do think is directly tied to your run game. That's going to be something that the Bears can then turn into an absolute big strength for them and a positivity. So that's also something that I think I want to see the Bears continue to build off of coming out of this bye week, and let's hope that they can do that. So, but that's my thoughts on that for today. Let's go ahead and get into the mailbag today. We've got 5 voicemails to get into. This one's from Dion.
Chicago Bears Central. This is Dion Allen, most known unknown person in the chat box. Look, I think we got a good team. The problem is we have bad run defense right now. I think once T.J. Edwards returns, he's going to help improve the run defense. I think that's the key to us having a 10-win season, 10-win type of season, because the team they're streaking. You know what I'm saying? Now their confidence is up. But if we keep playing the run the way we've been playing the run, that's going to mess with our confidence. If we can find a way to be better at run defense, I think we can have a 10-win season. When T.J. Edwards returns, that's going to help a lot. I'm surprised that Andrew Billings, he's been, I don't want to say he's been a non-factor. I can't say that because he caused a fumble in that Raiders game, but he hasn't showed up more than I thought he would this season in the run game, because last season he was the run defense, and we was one of the best run defense teams in the league when he was healthy. But all I'm trying to say is right now is that our team, I think that's the key. The offense is coming around. Confidence is growing in every position. That's the key. I'm telling you guys. If we can stop the run, not completely stop it, but do better than the run, bring that run per average down to 3.5 a carry or something like that on defense, I think we have a good season. With all that being said, Chicago up, bear down.
TJ and Kyler are going to be huge to helping the Bears run defense. And, like I said, Austin Booker has a chance to be that as well, even though mainly providing pass rush, but I think you get somebody who can get consistent pressure. I've said that in other voicemails, like pressure is pressure. And so if you can get pressure from that edge position, I think that's going to help some things as well, right? So I get where you're coming from as far as that helping the Chicago Bears reach that 10-game milestone that you mentioned. But if they want to get there, they also going to have to discover the run game on offense. We have to be better. We can't continue to be one-dimensional in the offensive side of the ball with the run game. And if we do continue to be that, teams are just going to figure us out. They're going to box things in, and then that's where things are going to get a little bit more difficult for the Bears to have the success that they want to have. So those 2 areas, run game on both sides of the ball, we improve that. I think things are looking pretty good for the Bears, Dion. But great voicemail there. Let's get into this next one, man. This one's from Keys.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Keys, man, on this lovely Thursday afternoon. With that said, let's get to it, man. So I watched the episode today for where you talked about the trade for possibly getting Jeffrey Simmons and Devon Achane, I think that's his last name, from the Dolphins. Well, I'm sure guys have read the comments And I've been saying it in plethora of voicemails where I always felt like I don't just go by picking out names and everything like that just to be picking out names. When I'm a focal point of I'm an interior defensive lineman. I played that shit, I know that shit, and I know what can help this defense not only in the run game, but in the pass game as well. All right. And every time I watch Jeffrey Simmons, he's a guy, not only is he taking up double teams, but if you give him a one-on-one, man, it's barbecue chicken. That's Shaq would say. And everything about his game, bro, the size, the frame, the prototypical, he could play 1 and 3 technique. What he would do in this defense would be not vastly similar to when we had Khalil Mack, and Khalil Mack's best friend was Akeem Hicks. And he's only 28 years old. And I just feel like for our defense to offset and go into that next realm and be what we need to be as a team, he is the one focal point that we have to get. Now, Tennessee may be a little stubborn, but you throw whatever you can. If I'm Ryan Poles, look, I'll give you a second and a fourth, a day 2 and a day 3, or a second and a fifth. You know what I'm saying? He will be that guy that come in here and do everything that we need him to do. He got the feet, he got the hands, his frame, everything about him, bro, is it will be everything we need, and it is coming. He's at the peak of his career. And as far as when it comes to running back, I like A-Chain a lot. But his size is very similar to Swift, but he knows how to hit the hole a little bit better. So the person I would probably go after a little bit more would probably be Alvin Kamara. Now we got to make sure that it makes sense. Poles got to do his thing with the numbers and see how it would go. But we going to need something. And who we give up for one of them guys, could be Javon Dexter, could be Cole Kmet. It's going to be somebody, you know. And as my boy Pat the designer said, your favorite Bear probably won't be on this team next year. So let me know what you guys think. As always, Chi-Town up, Bear down.
Keys, why do you open every voicemail like a corrupt youth pastor? Or like the one that goes around and sleeps with all the single moms. Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Glorious Thursday. We don't need to know what day it is, motherfucker. No, I'm just playing. Throw some fun to Keys, man. Keys is one of our biggest supporters here. But what you said about Jeffrey Simmons is 100% accurate and correct, right? This is a guy who is dominant on that defensive line. And his presence alone transforms a defensive line. And that's something that we need and we lack on this team. If you have somebody that their presence transforms the performance of your defensive line, that's where you can bet on. And so, listen, if the Bears were to make a move for Jeffrey Simmons, it's going to take a lot. Now, like you mentioned, is it a day 2 and a day 3 pick? Is it something like that? And if it is, when I initially heard that it was a round 2 pick, I'm like, I don't know if I want to give up a round 2 pick. But you guys pointed out something great in the comment section, pointing out the fact that, well, with your second round pick, you're trying to get somebody who can you get somebody that's impactful as Jeffrey? And I get it that he is 28, a little bit longer in the tooth than, of course, what you'll get with somebody who's going to be in the draft. But, like, you need something now. And, you know, somebody pointed out, like, oh, well, I don't think they'll make a trade for that when they're already paying Grady Jarrett. Listen, if you're in the business of trying to improve your team, you improve your fucking team. And that's what Simmons would bring to this team is instant improvement over what this team does. Now, the Titans, you know, the spot that they're in, it does lend them to possibly be willing to move a Simmons. Now, it's not going to be cheap, though. Just because the Titans are struggling doesn't mean it's going to be cheap. If the Bears are willing to pay that price, I mean, you're getting a player that's a hell of a player in it. Now, as far as the running back, between Alvin Kamara and Devon Achane, listen, both these guys are producing. And, you know, people mention the size. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about the production because we've seen players that are small before. He's produced it. I could see if we're talking about a player that was only 1 or 2 years in the league. We're talking about 3 years in the league, and he's produced all 3 of those years. So guess what? There's a proven commodity there in Devon Achane. Now, Alvin Kamara is a little bit older, but a guy that's done it longer as well, and he's a proven guy too. If you add proven guys to help this running attack, I'm not mad at that, regardless of who it is. But I'm not going to knock Achane just because he's smaller, because he's that size has not stopped him from producing at the NFL level. That's just my thought process on it. So you guys can let me know how you feel on that down below. Let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Cardo.
There's Central. What's good, y'all boys? It's your boy Cardo, man. Hey, I was thinking about something, man. DJ Moore just hasn't really been, you know, active in this offensive scheme that we have going on. So I've been seeing a lot of talk about trading them. I mean, personally, I at first wouldn't want to trade them, but based on the weapons that we have, I'm more open to it now, I guess, than before. And I got him on my fantasy team, and it's not because he's on my fantasy team where I want him to do good, but now I'm starting to look into trades, and I'm asking you guys, like, if we were to trade like a DJ Moore, where do you see us trying to get a return back? Probably defensive line, another corner or something, like, I don't know, something I was just thinking about. Let me know what you guys think. All right, man.
First of all, that what up boys felt a little racist, my boy. Like it felt like there was some generational racism in that what's up boys. Like I need you not to emphasize boys so hard, my guy. I need you like let's not do that. I'm just joking. I'm just having fun. But I will say this. I highly doubt that the Chicago Bears move DJ Moore. If they do though, I do think you're moving him in a huge swing, meaning that you feel like you're getting your edge, you feel like you're getting your running back or whatever. You feel like you're getting a big weapon, so you're willing to move off of DJ for that case. But I don't think they do it. I think if the Bears do look to make a swing, they're going to use their draft capital and maybe some of their other contracts. I don't think it's going to be DJ at this point in time. I could be wrong on that. It's just my feeling is as I don't think they want to move DJ. Not yet. Next offseason, maybe, right, as you have to look at and start preparing for Rome and Caleb's extensions, maybe. But as it stands right now, I don't think they move DJ. So, but again, I could very well be wrong on that one. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Tyrese.
Yo, what up, though? It's your boy Tyrese, man, from the south side by way of Arkansas. It's been a little minute since I called in, but anyway, I wanted to get a few things off, be all over the place a little bit. First, I'm going to start with Ben Johnson, man. I don't know if you guys remember when he was with Detroit, man. They was like losing real big and, they readjusted and they ended up going like 8-0 or something like that to finish off the season because that's the type of, coach that he did. He went up in there and made some adjustments. Like he said after this bye week, he was going to do some personnel adjustments and everything, meaning that I'm hoping that Kyle Monunga get a few more carries than DJ Moore and all that other good stuff. Now, second, I only said it about Ben Johnson real quick because I want y'all to understand after this bye week, I think he could be up in his bag because you get a chance to evaluate your team and see what's going on and see all the movement that he got to do moving around. And second, with that being said, I would love to see, I know y'all probably going to criticize me for this, but I'd love to see Noah Sewell get a few snaps, at the defensive end position, because to me, I just feel like he's been the best linebacker on the field, the most physical player on the field on our defensive side. And I believe he'll be able to play a little DN, but that's just me. And last but not least, for all the critics and the people that's, on I say our, like that's my channel or whatever, but hell, we family. So anyway, for all the haters that's been talking about Caleb Williams and his fingernails and all that other stuff, I want y'all to understand this. It was another Chicago player that wore lipstick and fingernail polish, but he was a damn dog. Think about Dennis Rodman when you think about Caleb Williams because they got the same type of dog mentalities. But anyway, this dog is out. Oh, yeah.
Ben Johnson's definitely making changes coming out of this bye week to the offense. I don't think you can avoid that. Changes are coming to this offense for sure. We got to see what it's going to be, but changes are going to come, whether it's on that offensive line, whether there's some things schematically, whether there's some things with being more intentional about getting your tight ends involved. But the way that Ben Johnson's talking, changes are definitely coming to this offense that they're going to work on in the bye week and come out and try to execute in week 6. Now, as far as Noah Sewell on defensive end, I don't know if Noah Sewell has the quickness to play defensive end consistently. Now, to your point, he has the toughness, he has the physicality, and that could be enough in some situations to play him at defensive end. I just don't know if you're going to see a lot of him there or him there at all, to be honest with you, because that quickness is a little bit of a thing. He's quick for a linebacker, but you need a different level of quickness, and it's not quickness and speed are different. You need a different level of quickness to play defensive end in this league, and maybe that physicality can overwhelm and he can make it happen there. I mean, we've seen weirder things happen, so maybe there's a chance of that, right? As far as people that are worried about Caleb Williams' nails, the thing that I say to them is worry more about yourself. If you're worried about Caleb Williams' nails when we're talking about football, you're worried about the wrong shit. And that's just my opinion on that one. All right, let's get into the last voicemail for today, man. This one's from Fred.
Hey, yo, hey, what up, man? What it do? This be your boy Fred, man. Hey, watching that game, man, it definitely was a trap game, and I felt like the Bears could have came out played better. We got the win, but I want to know this, man. Like, why Ben Johnson won't run the ball, man? Like, we seen some flashes when Kyle Monangai did get the ball, was running, and I'm like, for us to have 33 rushing yards, like, come on, man. Like, we got to get this shit together. We got to stop focusing on the pass. Like, it's cool to have a passing game and everything, but we got to get back to that smash mouth football, man. Because when he was the OC in Detroit, he was running the damn ball like it was nothing. He had a balanced offense. It's like, what is going to take? Like, is Kyle Monangai, can he be that running back? Because it's like, we drafted him for nothing, though. And, hey, I got to tip my hat off to Ozzie Trapillo because he did his thing against Max Crosby, man. One of the best pass rushers in the game, man. He didn't give up no sacks to him, no hurries, none of that, man. Ozzie did his thing, man. And I think Ozzie may, you know what I'm saying, be our right tackle from here on out. Because even though Darnell Wright, they might still give him a chance, though. But Ozzie listed way better than Darnell Wright. You know what I'm saying? So, the left tackle, I mean, Theo Benedict? He did all right. No, he did his thing though, man. But there's still some things we still got to clean up, man. So hopefully, man, the Bears can still carry this winning, over to the next game, man. And I was watching that punk ass, them two punk ass teams on like Sunday night was the Green Bay Whackers and the Dallas Cowgirls. And I'm looking at Green Bay. I say, if y'all couldn't even get a win against the Cowgirls and y'all let them take y'all to a tie, I know the Bears got a chance to beat Green Bay, man. Because ain't no way in hell Green Bay should have let them boys, do that to them. But anyway, man, fuck Green Bay, though. But hopefully, man, they can get, DJ involved more, man. Cole Kmet, I don't know what he was on, man. He had a terrible game, man. Like, I don't know what was going on. Hopefully, man, he can bounce back. He can recover, man. And, show that, that he can have a better game than what he had against the Raiders, though. You feel me? So hopefully, man, the defense gets their shit together and the whole thing just come together and everybody can be all on one cylinder at the end of the day, man. So I'm glad they got the win, man. It was ugly, but at the end of the day they got it. But let me know what you think, big dog. Chicago up, bet down enough.
All right, do we not run the ball because of a lack of intent, or do we not run the ball because of a lack of production? Like I said, none of our running backs are averaging over 3.5 yards per carry. None of them. And the only back on the team that's averaging over 4 yards per carry is Caleb Williams. Anybody averaging over that is a wide receiver as a rusher, right? So the Bears just have not had the consistent production to where I can necessarily judge Ben Johnson for not running them more. Now, I do think Kyle Monangai has earned more snaps, and hopefully that's something Ben Johnson evaluates as well in the bye week, is how to use Kyle Monangai more. But other than that, I think things are going to be a bit rough for the Bears, man. So we'll see how that goes for the Bears. But I do think they do need to find some production on that ground game, and if they do that, I think things can look much better for the Chicago Bears. So let's hope that they can. But that's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.